PDR Tool Time, your industry podcast, tools, reviews, and stories. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of PDR Tool Time. This is episode 146. I'm your host, Vince D'Alessandro, with Daniel Grom. We're having a quick episode tonight because I just got back from England, and we're doing this episode and dropping it first thing in the morning. So how you doing, Daniel?
Awesome, man. Yeah, good. I feel a little sorry for you. You know, you're probably a little jet lag, but you stepped up to the plate, and you're putting it down.
Yeah, I'm putting it down, and to help us along, we have the Mr. Tansey, Mr. Hudson Tansey from beautiful Houston, Texas.
Well, how you doing, Hudson?
Oh man, I'm staying alive. You know, being a father of 3 young kids under the age of 4, definitely takes a lot out of you, but it's worth it.
Hey, what's easier, running a dent business or being a father of 3 young under 4s? Both rewarding, I'm sure.
Both rewarding. I think they're both different on different levels.
Yes.
Absolutely different on different levels.
Well, you know what? You'll find out as you get older, you actually go to work to relax.
Maybe.
Actually, I think you're smart because once they get older, you know, because you have them so tight together, they can take care of themselves and stuff and their own entertain themselves.
By the time I'm 48, all my kids will be out of high school. I won't even be in my 50s yet, and they'll be gone.
That's good.
Theoretically.
They're never gone.
Theoretically.
Yeah. But you'll be gray and like old and decrepit.
You know, I'm okay looking a little bit like you when I'm older.
Right? And I bet you Hudson will still be playing his video games. You're a big gamer, aren't you?
No, I mean, I played Fortnite because my brother was in the army and he was stationed in Germany.
Yeah.
And that was the only way I could get him to talk to me, is if I played a stupid video game with him.
Oh, really?
So I got in on the Fortnite craze for a while, and it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
But now my brother's living with me now that I got out of the army.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, that's kind of like a built-in babysitter. You got to put him to work. Say, hey, watch the kids. Me and the wifey are going out for the night.
He's the worst babysitter.
Hey, Vince.
Yeah.
Who's this show brought to us by?
This show is brought to you by Hog Glue, Magnatech Mat, Edgy Tools, and Mobile Tech RX.
Thank you.
I am.
Get that in. You know, guys, we really appreciate everybody's support, and we do need your support and help with keeping this podcast going. So please go to Edgy Tools and buy some of his tools. Use the link on our website. That helps us. That gives us credit, and we're greatly appreciative of that.
PDRTT15 is a coupon code for 15% off everything at Edgy Tools.
Perfect.
So now we're coming out of, Black Friday. Everyone's got their tools hopefully showing up. Mega Media was a huge, not Mega Media, Dent Trainer was a huge success. They gave away like $20,000 worth of tools. Everyone's starting to get into the end of the year. And what's at the end of the year? We got parties going on all over the country, huh?
Well, we've got the Anson open house coming up next week.
This Saturday. No, not next. This Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're flying. I'm flying in. You're flying in.
Hudson, you're coming, aren't you?
Are you, Hudson? Are you going to be
there? I'm making arrangements to make it happen. So I should. I'm about 75-80% positive I'll be there.
Sweet. How long's the drive from Houston to Fort Worth?
So I'm north of Houston. I'm an hour north of Houston.
Yeah. So you already got an advantage.
Yeah, I'm about 3 hours.
Ugh.
3 hours north, and Buc-ee's is an hour and a half there. So my midway point's Buc-ee's, which if you haven't been to Buc-ee's yet,
no.
What's Buc-ee's? What's Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's
is that a strip club?
Is it a strip club? No, not a strip club. It's it's basically it's like
barbecue joint. It's a barbecue joint.
Do what?
It's a barbecue joint.
It does have some barbecue, but it's more of it's a gas station.
Okay.
but it's like the size of Walmart, essentially, and has the cleanest restrooms you'll ever see. And they have a full anything you could ever want is there at Buc-ee's. It's just kind of a thing.
How funny.
Thing.
Well, is it like 100 years old or something like that?
No, it's not. It has started as like someone saying, two guys saying like, you know what sucks? Every time we're on the road, the restrooms suck.
Right.
They're always dirty. So they started a gas station that had nice restrooms, and then they just blew up.
Wow. Do they have like Japanese toilet seats that like you get a little fluffing job going at the end?
I haven't experienced those.
Okay,
maybe
well,
that's it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Myself and Daniel both have Japanese toilet seats. I finally convinced Daniel to buy one. Best thing ever.
Did.
I did.
Whoa, you have a Japanese toilet seat in your home?
Yeah.
Yes, we both do.
Yeah, but the bidets. I've had it for 6 years now.
Oh, I've got a bidet at home.
Well, yeah, that's like the Japanese thing that air dries you and blows.
I don't have the air dry.
Oh,
Dude,
but
this thing
it knocks the crud off, right?
Honestly, the best thing about it is the seat warmer.
What?
But it does take away your man card a little bit, because now I sit down to pee just because it's freaking warm. It feels good, man. You sit down and you're like,
you got to link me that. I need you to link me this.
Costco sells them.
It's Costco, and I got mine at Sam's Club.
My Costco doesn't have it.
It does.
Yeah, they
it
do.
does.
You
Yeah.
gotta go down the toilet aisle.
Oh, I've been it.
But you have to have a plug. So I ended up drilling a hole into my walk-in closet from the toilet into the walk-in closet, and there's a plug back there. So I plugged my toilet.
Yeah. Before
that's the only.
You know what the funny story is? I had a customer buy it for me. I'm like, dude, I don't want that. Get that thing out of here. He's like, no, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I'm like, okay. So I set it up in my toilet. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just going to run an extension cord across my bathroom to the outlet that's nowhere near the toilet, right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is good. And then a couple weeks go by. I'm like, all right, we're keeping this.
What's the return policy on this?
Well, here's the funny thing. I bought it, or he got it at Costco. It broke about a year ago. I'm like, dude, I need a new one. And Costco didn't carry that brand anymore, so I had to go to Sam's Club. So, just give it to me. I'll take it back to Costco, and we'll get a refund. He freaking took it back to Costco. A toilet seat that I've been using for 4 years and got a full refund.
No way.
That's serious.
No way.
I took that money, went to Costco, and actually, or went to Sam's Club. Terry Siegel, I put a shot on Facebook. I said, I don't have a Sam's Club. Does anyone have a Sam's Club membership? And Terry Siegel's like, I do. I'm like, could I use it? I'm like, I don't want to disclose why I'm doing this on Facebook, but I told him privately, it's the only place that carries the bidet I used to have.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah,
That's
I
funny.
love that.
I think we have a new show title.
Yeah. What is it?
I don't know. Bidet, toilets, Japanese toilet seat, or something. I don't know.
But yeah,
that's funny.
So that whenever I go on vacation, that's the one thing I miss from home is my bidet.
That the other advantage is the other advantage is
what?
When you come home super drunk and you throw up in your toilet, you got to rinse mode.
Oh God,
that's disgusting.
Oh, it's clean water.
Yeah, but it has to pass the wand. No, I don't know. That's gross. Have you used it like that?
No.
Yeah. The best part for me is in the summer when you're getting swamp ass from like a real Hudson. You'd love it down in friggin' Houston.
Man, I lather up with fresh balls. I never have issues.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to knock the crud off, or
it's a combination: fresh balls and a Japanese toilet seat.
Yeah, that's winning combination. Absolutely.
Man, we have gone off the rails. I'm sorry, guys. You guys are probably fast forward through this, going, I can't listen to this anymore.
No. Well, anyways,
let's get back to the show.
Okay, back to the show.
You were in England,
I was
right,
in
Vince?
Jolly old England. Yes.
Tell us about that. What was that like?
It was awesome.
Is it your first time to Europe or
no? I have a European family, so I've been to Europe quite a few times, but not so much in my adult life because I have to pay for it now. Opposed to when I was a child, my parents paid for it.
Right.
So I haven't done England. Last time I was in England was 2003 with my wife. And this time it was purely business. Even though it looked like I was having a ton of fun, and if you guys followed me or friends on Facebook, I was there strictly on business with TDN and Anson. And that was all about the EV training and becoming an instructor for Anson and the joint venture between Anson and TDN.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it went well. You got your certifications, right?
I got, excuse me, I got 2 certifications, not just one. The plan was to go and make sure that I ensured that I got the EV hybrid certification process so I could come back here and teach everyone and certify them. I ended up getting the PDR certification process too while I was there. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
What was that like?
What it is there's 3 parts to it. There's a test, like a written test, where you're going to be asked 30 questions on the computer and you have to answer them. And there's not really...
excuse me, on like theory or like how metal movement, like on what? Like what kind of...
To be honest with the questions were more along the lines of ethics questions. What would you do if?
Oh, okay.
Which was really cool. Because they want to hold you to a certain standard. And if people know about ISO standards, these are international standards. In fact, ISO stands for International Standard Operations. And when you go into manufacturing companies and firms and stuff like that, they say ISO 00246 or whatever. They're ISO rated. And sometimes they have like a ton of them. This is an ISO rated course, which is internationally recognized as well. So with the PDR one, you had to take 30 questions. You also, then there was another test where you had to take apart a panel and put it back together. If you broke clips, you had to mark down that you broke clips, replace clips, and whatnot. And then the actual PDR test, you would have to fix 3 dents. One was open access, and one was restricted access, and then one was a body line dent. And you had an hour to complete each one.
Now, I mean, were they deep, shallow? What kind of?
They were, I believe they called them 30 millimeter dents. So they were take the Craftsman red handle or red head side and whack it with a good semi-sharp dent. Mm-hmm. So on the hood twice.
Not too hard, medium.
Not too hard, but something that it might be a challenge to someone that's not prepared in this industry. It was a very fair assessment. And then the body line dent is on the rear quarter panel or front fender, and they take a 2x4 and whack it in a way that you get about a 4-inch crease right through the body line. And you can't color sand. You can polish, but you cannot color sand.
Good.
Yeah. So I graded one guy. I once I got my status, I was able to instruct one guy, and actually 2 people. So 2 people are certified under my stamp of approval already.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Big man on campus over here already.
And do you get a big statue in England?
No.
Of you?
No. You don't.
Just a plaque.
Just a couple pieces of paper, I guess, and a big pat on the back from my people.
Okay, good.
But yeah, so there's the EV one, and we've talked about that in the past.
Personally,
what's that?
I think they should have done a statue of you personally, but that's just me.
Yes, in one of the castles. That's the funny thing when we were running around town with Mike, because Mike was out there for a couple days too. We're running around, and Mike is like, "Is that a castle? Is that a castle? Is that a castle?" None of them were castles. They're all churches. There's churches spread. There's thousands of churches.
We saw his post. He was a little bit inebriated.
Yeah, just a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the good thing that got taken down because that was.
Do you have a new tattoo on your wrist?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Vince.
No, it's an old tattoo. It's probably like 15 years old.
I've never noticed that before.
I usually have a watch on, and it's in a position that you can't really see it.
Oh, that's just adorable.
I've known you for how long, and I've never noticed that?
Daniel, we've shared beds together, and you've never noticed my tattoo on my wrist?
No.
Here we go. We're going off the rails again.
even when I come with you.
So I just never took you as a unicorn on your wrist kind of guy.
That's not a unicorn.
Have you seen his tramp stamp? Hey, everybody. Vince has a tramp stamp.
I do have a tramp stamp, yeah. And a story behind it, which you'll never know.
He's a tramp.
Listen,
he's easy.
More importantly was their open house at TDN. I met about 100 UK technicians, and what a fun bunch of guys those guys are.
Yeah, but not one of them listened to John Renstam.
Which was...
Don't do stupid stuff.
Don't do stupid stuff. You know what? The English technicians are into doing stupid stuff once they start drinking.
Yeah.
I'd have to say, what... obviously, they're not in a litigious... Hudson, is that proper English there? Litigious society?
Yeah, I'm sure.
There's not a lot of suing going on over
Logistics?
there. Obviously, it's not California, but no, they drink at their open houses, and it's supplied by the company at the time. I don't think it's going to be supplied anymore after what happened. Because we did have a man go down with the unfortunate.
I want to know what happened.
Okay, well, the listeners, we were all having a good time after the show, and they had gambling and they had casino night. Everything was wonderful, and then a few guys got a bright idea to take a Dentcraft rolling chair, right? And they set up some pylons in the shop. And they were pushing each other into the pylons, seeing how many people could not...
Bowling with techs.
Yes, bowling with technicians. So the only problem was there's a big metal door, roll-up door behind there. And one of the gentlemen was pushed a little bit too hard and ended up hitting his head and broke 2 vertebrae in his neck.
No.
Yeah. It was...
tell everybody what everybody else did after that. They stood up.
They totally stood up. Well, after it took 2.5 hours for the ambulance to get there, poor Keith was carted off, and we all had to actually help the ambulance people, the paramedics, put him on the stretcher, and it was like all hands on deck, which in this country that would never happen, right? Be like,
right?
Yeah, you're gonna get sued.
You're gonna get sued. That and neck injury. Don't touch the guy. Yeah. So they get him in, and he's off to the hospital. We thought it was just maybe muscular, but it turned out he had 2 broken vertebrae in his neck. And Jordan from TDN and Tony from TDN did not leave his side for a week. So Not only that, they did a GoFundMe, and everyone contributed to that. Jordan was there in the morning in the hospital, and Tony was there in the afternoon. And it was a beautiful thing, and not just that, but the camaraderie of the guys, the technicians. They all ended up committing to taking care of his route in England, and helping him out and giving him the proceeds from his route to help in his recovery.
That's awesome.
So it's socialized medicine over there, so there's no doctor bills or anything like that, but there's loss of income, and
that's why it took him 2 hours to get the ambulance there.
Yeah. I mean, we wrapped him up in towels, blankets, and bubble wrap.
So, did you really?
Yeah.
Bubble wrap. I love it. I want to see a picture of that.
Yeah, I can't show any of these pictures. Sorry. I have a lot of them, but they're not going to be seen ever. The good thing is Keith, I was talking to him prior, and he's coming to MTE. So I wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully we'll all meet him at MTE and give him a big ring around his neck.
And keep him away from all the rolling chairs.
Rolling chairs are
are bad.
Yeah,
rolling chairs are bad.
So
you had a great time there.
I had a really good time. It was a lot of hard work and stress getting through the instruction program. But once I did, I was able to relax a little bit and get on with having a little bit of fun.
Tell our listening audience, what does that mean to everybody?
What part? Having fun?
That you're certified. What happens next?
What happens next is we're going to be having EV training events all over the country, all over North America. There's going to be one in Alberta coming up, Canada. We have one, Scott.
We're in Alberta.
I don't know exactly where he's. Dominic. Yeah, he's Canada PDR. I forgot the name of the company, but he's got a whole bunch of techs up there. He's like, I need you up here. They work on a lot of hybrid cars up there, so he's like, I need you up here, and we need you certifying all our technicians. Scott Clark, he's doing one in New Orleans. That's already confirmed in February. And the more the merrier. If you guys need more information, call myself or Christina at Anson, or you could email us, Christina at AnsonPDR.com or Vince at AnsonPDR.com, and we'll get back to you with some information what you need.
And I want to do one here at my shop. So guys in Northern California, if you're a listener, give me a call, and we're going to set up some kind of date so Vince can finally come visit me.
Yeah, Campbell. Campbell's ready to go. He contacted me. Is it Jeff Campbell?
Yeah, and somebody else. I forget now, but
yeah. So we're going to do one at Mike's shop in San Diego. We'll do one in my shop in Orange County, LA area, and then we'll do one up in Daniel's.
So Sacramento guys, people from Sacramento, anybody in Northern California, Ian Cordell, all those guys.
Yeah, that's the plan. So, and then whoever else wants to host one, all you need is 8 people, and I'll come to you. Yeah, cool. So, all right, Daniel, move on.
All right, let's move on to Hudson. Hudson, we brought you on because we love you, and you're a great personality. You're doing a lot of videos, but you're kind of becoming the king of gas doors.
And you hate R&I, right?
Do what?
You don't like R&I.
Oh no, I'm a diva. I hate it.
You're like the rest of us. We're all like that. But you kind of been putting out a lot of videos on how to R&I a gas door.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as I found out how simple they were, do it. I'm hoping that once I start taking apart more things, that I'll make more videos, just to be helpful.
Well, the newer cars, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the newer cars are becoming a little bit easier. Some cars there's a lot of access around the gas door, and anytime when you get a dent on the gas door side, your eyes roll to the customer and go, "Oh God, it's the gas door side," and it's always the gas door side, because your usual access is through the trunk. Take out the tail light, but that gas door can be in the way, and it's just giving you a little bit more opportunity to get to a dent. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. And just the simplicity of what I've come to find. Usually, it's either one screw or 2 tabs, and then let a rip, tater, chip, kind of thing.
How many have you broken in the process of figuring that out?
I haven't broken any beyond repair.
Oh, good.
So I've lucked out, and
I've gotten some Mercedes where I've broken that seal along. It's like a rubber thing that's it's terrible. Terrible design.
Are you talking about the hose?
Not the hose, but like some of the Mercedes. It's hard plastic in the center, but when it gets to the edge, it turns to like rubberized plastic.
Yeah, you definitely have to address that or it'll tear.
Yeah.
My problem is like some of the gas doors, the latch system. I'm always afraid of the latch system getting damaged and then the gas door not working properly, because that would be a bad thing.
Yeah. So I look at it this way. My mentality is for R&I has come to this. Like, most things are pretty easily replaceable nowadays, unless it's on an older vehicle. But with these newer vehicles, I take it as the same risk factor as glue pulling. When I'm glue pulling, there's a risk of pulling paint. But if I take educated guesses and I'm knowledgeable enough to take things apart, if I break anything, typically I can let the customer know and say, "Hey, this happened. These things happen," and I can go ahead and fix it, make everything operable within.
That's a good attitude.
A quick turnaround time. Because if I operate out of fear, or worry that I'm going to break something, then there's going to be a lot of things I'm not going to get done.
You know what? That's a great attitude. Really good attitude to have.
It is, because I love R&I. I must have been like an R&I technician in my past life or something, because even my painter, he has me do it because I just go into it with no fear at all. It's like if I break something, I break something, but it always seems like it's firm pressure all the time. You don't want to get in there and start wiggling things around too much, because you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to give up, but you can't be so hard that you're just going to go in there and crush everything. So a lot of it's just firm pressure, getting in there and with confidence and pulling it apart without damaging it.
I had some great advice from a body man one time with R&I, and he told me, you realize some dumbass in Detroit put this thing together, right? So some dumbass in Santa Rosa can take it apart.
Right.
And I took it to heart. I was like, yeah, you're right. I can be a dumbass. That's been my attitude ever since. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that. You get into the German ones, and it's like they're superior dumbasses, right? The way that they've over-engineered everything.
They are over-engineered. But as soon as you figure it out, you're like, oh, this is genius and super easy. But it's the figuring out part that makes you want to pull your hair out.
Right. And then you put it in your Rolodex in your brain, right? It's like, you know exactly how to do that next time. It's like,
what was it? Mini Cooper tail lights.
Yeah.
That chrome trim around them.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, what's the point of this? But then as soon as you figure out, oh, this just pops out, and then there's 4 screws, and then boom, it's out. It's like,
and then that wasn't good enough, so they changed it.
Right.
Yeah. It's the changing part that I don't like. It's like the old Chevy trucks that had 2 pins to take out the headlight.
Oh, I remember that.
Brilliant. Every manufacturer from that point on should have adopted the whole idea.
No, actually, you're going to see. So what you're going to see, and you're seeing even more domestics go this way, is the European model and the German, over there overseas, where most of their certified techs are taking care of vehicles. And us in America, we're like, hey, do it yourself, fix your own cars. Thing is, Chevrolet and Ford, they don't make money off that. So now they're designing things that are so complicated that you have to have a certified tech take it apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how they're going to make money. They're going to nickel and dime you. So it's like, oh, how do you take off this? Like on a Chevrolet, if you want to take a headlight out of a Chevrolet truck, you have to take off the front bumper clip.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So there's some people who are DIYers are like, yeah, I'm not doing that. They'll take it to get, whenever it's getting its oil change, I'll tell them to take care of the headlight.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's where Chevrolet is going to make more money down the line, because people are going to bring it into the dealership to get serviced.
Sure.
That's what's great about YouTube is, the first place I go to is YouTube.
To a degree. Mm-hmm. To a degree,
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
But then you got Mobile Tech RX, who's showing you X-rays of the panel, which really helps you in sometimes R&I or getting to the dent or whatnot. I can see sometime in the future them adding, little videos of how to take something apart.
That would be great. And Mike Toledo, he asked me for years to videotape taking things apart. And quite frankly, I just don't have the time to do it. But I'd love doing it. And I love taking things apart and putting them back together ever since I was a kid. But that's something, there's all data out there, or all data, depending on how you say it. But no one wants to really pay for that subscription to figure out, they'll tell you exactly how to take something apart. It's I don't know if they have it in an app form, but it's definitely a program that you update every quarter, and it tells you how to take everything apart.
Yeah, I wonder how much that costs.
That's where techs come in industry. If you're a tech, if you take something apart, take a couple minutes, videotape it, talk about it afterwards. If you've already done it and you just figured it out, just videotape yourself talking about how you did that, and post it. Post it on PDR Tool Time, post it on
YouTube,
Access, wherever, and put the information out there. It just helps everybody. And sometimes you'll have to refer to your own video because you forget.
Oh yeah,
right.
I have to do that with Macans a lot. Can't stand those things.
You know, the funny thing is, Daniel, I get calls on this all the time because it seems like I've been the go-to for EV stuff. So I get lots of calls. Hey, Vince, how do you power down this car, this and that? How do you power down a Model S? I watched Daniel's video, but I'm not confident in it. You recorded that video before you were EV trained.
Yeah. No, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
That's my most popular video. That's what's funny. And you still could die.
You still could die from what the Daniel's video was.
Oh, man.
Full disclosure.
But that's a perfect example of how YouTube is not always accurate with its information. Because working on electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles can be dangerous if you're not properly trained.
No, are dangerous. Not can be.
They can be. Yeah, they are. They are.
Extremely dangerous.
Yep.
Not only for yourself, but for anybody that's working in your environment.
Right.
You know, one of the things I learned EV training, they have a plastic hook because EV cars are DC powered. So if you grab the wrong things, and it will lock you onto the car. And then Hudson cares about me, so he comes along and he tries to pull me off, and now he's dead.
He's part of it, stuck to you.
And now you're linked to me, and then Vince cares about both of us. He comes around, grabs both of us, and he's dead. All three of us are dead.
I blame Edison. It's all Edison's fault.
Yeah.
Yep. But they have this plastic hook to grab onto you and pull you off the car.
It's called a rescue hook.
Like a shepherd's hook?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
It's exactly like a shepherd hook.
It's a big shepherd's hook.
I still can't find that hook, by the way.
Well, you know what? Anson will be carrying, hopefully by the time MTE comes around, there'll be a whole EV package for those that have been certified that you can buy it.
The one thing I can't find is that hook.
Yeah, it's called a rescue hook.
Yeah.
And it's rated at 1,000 volts.
Well, in Texas, we just use a lasso, but...
Yeah, but a lasso's not rated to 1,000 volts. And you're working on a Tesla that's 750 volts DC.
Look, I'm trying to make a Texas joke over here, Vince, okay?
Yeah.
You just not ruin my groove.
You just ruined his joke, man.
You just ruined my groove.
You lasso him. I didn't think you had steers down in Houston.
One thing I love about where I live is I'll be full on kind of metropolis. Like there's a couple high-rise buildings, and then you go seriously a mile or two down the road, and all of a sudden there's a field full of cows, and it's like, what the?
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, are you a route guy? You all retail? What are you doing?
Everything. 70.
You don't have a shop though, right?
No shop. The area that I'm in is a little bit on the entitled side, a very entitled area.
Nice.
So they love having me come to them.
Sure.
Because I would definitely love to have a shop that I just kind of set up at and people come to me, but I get so many people complimenting me that I come to them that it wouldn't make sense to do the shop thing right now.
No, that's good.
But yeah, I'm about 70 to 75% retail house calls, and then the rest of the 20 to 25% are body shops and dealerships. But I only do the higher end dealerships, and so the volume isn't high. It's very low volume. Like at most, I'll have like 10 cars a week.
Now, do you use Mobile Tech RX to run your business?
Oh yeah. It's actually my Lamborghini dealership, my Lamborghini and my Porsche dealership, now Rolls Royce too. They won't accept any paper invoices. They will only accept digital.
Yeah.
So,
that's the way it's going.
Yeah.
So let's dive into a little bit about your approach to. Let's stick with the gas store stuff and what tools do you need? What are the essential tools? This is PDR tool time. Let's talk about some of the essential tools when you're taking apart a gas store.
Yeah, definitely. Torx tips, because a lot of them are Torx tip based. Plastic trim tools. for sure. You know what's actually been really, really useful is the new Stuckey's little Talon.
Yeah.
Door
that
tool.
thing is awesome, right?
The wedge.
Yeah.
But it's just got enough of a little bit of a kick to it so that you can pry and like really pry well. It's not just your regular triangular wedge. It's got a little bit of a curve to it, like a Talon. And when you actually get it in there, you have more leverage than you would with any other like plastic triangular wedge. Like
I 100% agree.
I agree too.
Stiff, it's hard. It's like whatever every woman's dream is.
You had to go there, huh?
Sorry. I was trying to head off your own joke, or you, Captain.
Yeah, but basically a good plastic trim set, you definitely, and like you don't, it's hit or miss because you don't want a flexible plastic. You need to get a hard, rigid plastic trim set. And I had to go through several to finally get something I like. It took several Amazon purchases to finally find a good solid plastic trim set, so I'm not scratching paint.
Yeah. Daniel and I, we got new trim clip from Dentless, dentless.net.
Yeah, I saw that. The black one with like the big and the small.
Yeah. It's pretty
solid.
It's pretty solid. Yeah. I was thinking, this thing is 3D printed. It's probably just going to fall apart, but the sucker is solid. And it's sharp too. So what I like about it, there's like a flatness to it. It slips into great tight places, really, really tight, and it's very rigid.
The one feature that he's got that I haven't found with anybody else is when you're taking weather strip molding, and the weather strip molding clips, they're really super, super small.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a notch for that.
Yeah.
And specifically for that. And it's the only tool I've ever found that actually works on those and will actually pry those out without
cracking one side of them off. Right?
No, not that. Is it releasing from the molding or the rubber strip?
Yeah.
Because once it gets out of that hole, it's a bitch to get it back in that hole.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you just want to get it released from the car, but want to keep it in the molding itself.
Yeah.
And for that alone, that tool is fantastic.
Now, if you remember, Daniel, when we were at SEMA, we came across a booth that had similar tools to that. But the guy had about, there was like 5 or 6 options on the one tool. It wasn't just a pry, but it also had different, like he did with the dentless one. There was like 3 on one side and 3 on the other. And it was really crafty. I thought about getting it, and I probably should have.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, well, you were right there with me.
I know, but I still don't remember.
Yeah, SEMA was so overwhelming. I should have paid attention.
I didn't buy it.
You did not buy it.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, but there's other tools out there like that. But this guy, he's an industry guy that's coming up with something cool, and it works really well.
Yeah. So it. Obviously, the tool isn't super refined because it's 3D printed. So I'd like to see it be, injected, molded, or whatever they do to make that tool.
Sure.
I like to see it to come to market and totally legit. I like to see it a little bit longer and thinner at the ends, so you can really slip it under some tight plastic pieces and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, good.
So now, what's your approach when you're taking apart? So you open up a gas door and you usually see 4 dots.
Mm-hmm.
Is that usually the pry points?
Yeah, that's what I've come to see is, so you see the 2 dots on the top, and I'm going to start from the top typically, and I'm going to try to slip a plastic trim tool in between the rubber gasket and the metal edge, and that's going to allow me to get that spot and into right behind that dot is typically where there is a what's the word we want to use, like where it's being held in at.
Yeah,
or whatever.
not a clip because it's
Not a
not
clip.
clipped in. It's
shoot, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, basically it's the part that you got to press down in order for it to release.
A tab.
The tab. Yeah, the tab to push down it's usually behind those dots.
Yeah.
So I'm going to push the tab down, and when I push that tab down, if that releases, then I know the other 3 remaining dots.
Yeah.
Is going to release for me. What I've started doing now actually is before I even start doing that is I take the actual door itself, like the painted part that looks like it's part of the body.
Yeah.
I remove that because once you start swinging that whole gas cap out,
yeah, the whole housing of it,
pocket out, it can put a dent or scratch the right in front of the gas door.
Oh, sure.
So if you remove that door, you remove that, that part.
The potential for causing another dent or scratch in the panel.
Exactly.
And that comes in really useful for, I can't tell you, I probably do 2 a month that have been caused by someone hyperextending the gas door and putting a dent right in front of the gas door, and that's right where the hinge is. So it's like, okay, you know what? If I could get this gas compartment out, I could get all over it.
And a lot of people are switching to plastic doors.
Yeah,
they used to all be metal. I loved fixing dents on gas doors.
Me too. It's kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, well, because I would fix them without taking the door off, and I would just get a really long weld tail, so it'd be far back, and I would just slide it in between like the really narrow braces.
Yeah,
it was enjoyable.
Yeah. No, it's a little bit of a challenge. It's always good.
Yeah. What is that, Daniel?
Daniel's bringing his
bringing
tools out.
I did an internet search for caddies. I wanted my.
Oh, you're into golfing?
Yeah.
My R&I caddy, and I bought quite a few things. And that's the bad thing about Amazon is you think it's small, and then you get it in the mail, and it's huge. And so I bought several things, and I finally landed on this one, being the perfect R&I caddy.
Well, what's the name? Because our listening audience can't see anything. Hence our listening audience.
It's McGuire-Nicholas, and I found it on Amazon. It's a little rectangular caddy. It has sewn patches on the outside. It has little bungees that hold all your R&I tools, and then it has a center part to hold your.
Now here's the thing. Do you have what screwdriver are you using?
I use primarily electric, so I'm using my Snap-on screwdriver electric.
So my favorite thing, I've been using it for years, is Craftsman makes this screwdriver where it almost looks like a revolver, and you can spin them, and, and then you pull them in and out.
Yeah,
it's all magnetic based, to where if I need a flathead, I just push up and the flathead's there, and then I'm like, oh, I need a Phillips head, and I slide it out, and then it just turned the revolver casing, and then put it in the spot, and then slide it back in. I don't know. It's so there's no bits exterior. It's all within the screwdriver itself.
You like it?
I love it because I don't have to keep track of anything. All my main R&I bits are inside that little revolver, and it's inside the actual screwdriver itself.
That's a killer tech tip. That's awesome.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I've always used my Snap-on, forward and back. That's my R&I screwdriver. Yeah. I use that thing for everything.
It's got all of them right there. All my go-tos are right there inside that one screwdriver. I never have to pull, the stupid little strips of all your T8s and T10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You got to wiggle it out a little bit and then pull it, and then there's none of that. It's just turn the little clear revolver casing to the one you want, and then push up, and bam, it's there.
Sadly, my Sears is closing down.
Well, go in and get on some of that.
Get on it.
I went in there yesterday. It was cleaned out. I went into the tool in the side of it, and it was totally cleaned.
What about Craftsman hammers?
Craftsman is going to Lowe's now. Craftsman is going to be in Lowe's.
Yeah, I heard Lowe's is not doing very well either.
No, Lowe's isn't. They are also Orchard Supply, and they shut down a whole bunch of Orchard Supplies here.
Supply closed down.
Yeah, they just opened one up, and within 3 months, it's already going out of business. It's like, really?
Yeah, sucks.
And Lowe's owns Orchard Supply.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Orchard Supply is. So
Yeah.
It's a California thing, but yeah, this little caddy is nice. One that my best R&I tool is Mueller.
Oh, those things are incredible.
Yeah, and
you can get them on the backhoe truck, by the way.
You can and pay double, or you can go on Amazon and pay $65 for the set. So
now hold on, you need to explain that, because the Mueller, those are your metal ones, right?
Yeah, they're metal R&I tools, but they're essential. I mean, if you're doing any R&I, do a little internet search for Mueller.
Mueller.
Yeah, and then it's KUEPS.
And here's the tech tip for those. So I use Toll Cut because I'm an incredible technician who always has to wet sand. But when you take the Toll Cuts that you've used, and if you want to just put them right where you're going to be prying, so that you're not prying off of the painted surface, you just take that used Toll Cut
surface, yeah,
and just put it like right there, so that you're not, because sometimes those Muellers, they're so sharp and so thin that they can cut into the paint.
Sure.
So it's going to be an area that you're going to be prying off, like where the door handles are on the side of the door. You have the giant, 1 inch wide plugs.
Yeah.
Those Muellers are perfect for getting underneath there, but sometimes it can really dig into the paint.
Yeah.
If you're not careful. So if you put a little used piece of Toll Cut right there, it protects that.
Now, do you have this tool?
Oh yeah,
the Coke spoon.
I've got like 6 of those.
Yeah,
the Coke spoon.
That's the '80s Coke spoon. Daniel's an old soul, man.
Yeah. It's been around. That's an O-ring. They call them O-ring removers. Is the technical term for those?
Or Coke spoon.
Or Coke spoon. I hear Coke's coming back though.
Is it? Choice of the new generation.
Yeah. So
all right.
Yeah, that's my little advice, and get yourself a little tool caddy. You can go up to Home Depot. They have a little round one that Husky sells, or the one I just talked about, and put all your R&I tools in one little place. You can hang it off your cart or whatever, and you know where all your R&I stuff, and then you just grab it if you're doing a headliner or whatnot, and you're all organized, and you make sure you get your tools back, because it's very easy to leave some of your R&I tools in a car.
Yeah.
I'll say one last thing about that you should add to that, if you don't already, is just a little bitty plastic case. I have inside like a plastic case that has like 3 different, and it's seriously about like a 5x7, maybe even smaller case, and it holds. I have a ratcheting wrench, a 7, 8, 9, and 10 millimeter deep sockets in it.
Yep.
And then a bunch of basically I can take apart anything.
Yeah.
Like 90% of things on cars can be taken off. So anytime I go to take something apart, I just grab that one little bitty plastic case.
Yeah.
Did you get that from Costco? Are you talking about the Costco one?
No, it's a Husky brand from Home Depot.
Yeah. I got one from Costco, and it has all your bits in it. All your star bits or whatever, and then your essential sockets, and it's a nice little case, and it fits in your little caddy.
That's awesome. Well, Hudson, the last thing we just wanted to touch on was your NAPDRT. You're part of NAPDRT now, right?
NAPDRT.
Nice.
Yeah, man, the National Alliance of PDR Technicians.
Yeah, you've been nominated to the board.
I was nominated and then voted onto the board, and
voted on.
Very kind of people and unexpected, but very, very proud to be a part of that. And,
were you a member prior?
Yeah, I've been a member. So Ricky Bain's one of the founding guys there.
Yeah, Ricky
Bain's
right
in my backyard.
Yeah,
love Ricky, so I get to talk to him all the time.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
And so I've always been a part of it, and I always make fun of him online. So it was just one of those things that, I made fun of them. Like, man, y'all need some young blood in there. Y'all all getting old.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, believe it or not, we all started it when we were young. So yeah, it was good. And I voted for, I put in my vote for Crystal, and she got voted too. And I'm excited to have her, to have her input. She's a go-getter, and I love that.
Yeah,
about Crystal. And she'll be, it'll probably be good. Hopefully her and I coming in there, bringing some young blood, maybe some good energy and into that. So I don't know exactly what our roles are yet. We haven't gotten to that. I mean, it just got voted on not too long ago, and I think with the holidays and everything, but we'll be having our first kind of meeting sometime this month. And
that's really awesome. I think that's great because, and like you said, the younger blood needs to get injected into our industry. Definitely, that's why we like having you on. You've been on here before in the past, and we're going to have you on in the future. Obviously, we look forward to hearing some of the stuff that NAPDRT is going to be doing as well. I know, not that I've heard complaints, but it's more along the lines like they were at SEMA this year, and I stopped by to say hi to the guys, and there was no one stopping by their booth. I felt bad for them, but I also, saw, people that did stop by and kind of got ignored too. So it looked like a really frustrating situation there.
I think it'll be good. I think I'm a people person.
Yeah,
that's just kind of who I am.
Sure.
That's how I'm wired, and so. I don't know. I know after you've done something for so long, you can kind of get jaded. I know, like
exactly.
I'm only 12 years into the PDR industry, and this year was my first year to get a little bit jaded of like, man, I'm a little bit burnt out, but I still love it.
Sure.
But I had my days, like my first year of having my days were like, I just don't want to go to work.
Yeah, it happens.
You'll ebb and flow in this industry.
Oh yeah.
You have 3 kids under 4, man. Come on.
That's what happened. I just want to stay home and be with them. They're amazing, and my wife is incredible. So it's hard to leave her every day.
Yeah.
So
you know what? Really, the kids are the dream killers. Don't have kids, and you'll have an excellent PDR career.
Man, that's because Vince doesn't. Hey Hudson, don't listen to him. That's because he doesn't like Disney. If you take your kids to Disney, you'll be fine.
Nah, I hated Disney.
Man, they love
your kids. They will love you if you take them to Disney.
If you take them to Disney, yeah, we're definitely already indoctrinated with all the Disney movies. Good night.
Yeah.
So. Well, yeah, man. So yeah, excited about it. Thanks for asking about it.
Yeah,
and really look forward to seeing what can happen with it.
Absolutely,
they've already done a lot for our industry.
Yeah,
and not a lot of people know about everything they've done. I've been a member for I think 2 or 3 years now, and I go to the meeting every year, and I get to hear about it. But hopefully we can be a little bit more vocal about how much they're actually doing.
Sure, and the thing is, there's a lot of avenues that are out there now, and sometimes it takes the younger generation to get that tech savviness out, injected into something. And you're out, and people know your face and know who you are. So that's going to be good. We'll have you on here to give updates and stuff like that. If you have any, burning desires or something that needs to get out there, you tell us, and we'll get you on, and we'll get it out there to the masses.
Feel free to post that stuff on PDR Tool Time to let everybody know the wins.
Yeah,
they've got going.
We are not exclusive with PDR Tool Time. We love everybody.
That's right.
So,
well, I think that brings us to a conclusion. Don't you think so, Vince?
Yeah, I think that's a good episode. A lot of information in this one.
Yep. And I want to thank you, Hudson, for coming on tonight and gracing us with your presence.
Oh man, whatever I can do to ever do that for you.
I can't wait to hang out with you next week.
Yeah, this week. It's like 5 days, dude. We'll see Hudson.
Holy crap! It's in 5 days.
Yeah, maybe 4.
I should probably get a hotel.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, something like that.
Daniel and I will be spooning together once again.
We get to share a room. Yay!
I just like, on a cold night, Daniel's always wearing a sweater. It's like snuggling up to a bear.
And Vince, everybody knows Vince likes warm hugs.
We need to buy you guys some smittens,
Smittens.
Yeah, the mittens where you can hold hands but still wear mittens.
Oh. No.
That way, when you're out of the hood room, you can still be together,
Okay, on that note, we want to thank everyone for listening to another episode of PDR Tool Time, episode 146. And Daniel.
Guys, do me a favor. Stop being cheap. Don't be cheap. And level up your tools.
And don't do stupid stuff from John. And I still have to come up with something. This has been another episode of PDR Tool Time.